Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen Odd and these are Karen's Oddities. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Regardless, I do want to ask that you give this video a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below, even if you disagree with my content. And I also want to ask that you share this video and our channel with one person that you know, as I'm confident there is something here that both you and they can benefit from. We're talking Married at First Sight, episode 15. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more crazy and like jaw-dropping, they continue to get that way, right? So I have my notes separated per couple. It's not going to go in chronological order of how the episode aired. I'm just going in chronological order, and let's start with like the most controversial conversation and dynamic that we saw displayed on episode 15. Mecca and Bella Jolie. So Mecca and Belle, this episode starts with them agreeing to say yes on decision day, which I thought was interesting. I don't think we've seen that on a lot of previous episodes where the couples like outwardly announce that they're going to say yes during decision day. A lot of the times they try to be vague about it. You can get some kind of idea what people are going to say, but no one ever outwardly says, I'm going to say yes or I'm going to say no. And if it's going to say no, typically they decide to get a divorce, similar to how Nick and Courtney did. So I thought that was an interesting choice to say that on camera, to like for them to make that decision. I think they were at a bar, they had a drink and they toasted to it. And then they shared it at the dinner, which was kind of what was going down at the end of this episode. Okay. Near the end of the episode, the couples are talking about physical attraction, and intimacy and different things like that. I believe it's specifically as it relates to Caitlin and Devin. Then Sean. It's related to Sean or Nikki, because someone is saying like, I don't think that you're attracted to Sean. Mecca says he doesn't think that Nikki is attracted to Sean. Adam is taking jabs at Sean and Nikki, also talking about attraction. We'll get to that later. Mecca decides to say, I wasn't attracted to Belle when we first met. Okay. It's fine if that's his truth, right? It's fine if that's his truth. Why are you saying this now? Why are you bringing it up? Why are you saying this out loud? Why are you saying this at this dinner? Not only it doesn't stop there, okay? He says that, and Belle is trying to get clarity to understand what he's saying and what he meant by that. So she says, you weren't physically attracted to me when we first met. Then he says, I mean, well, I thought she looks good. She's pretty. And I have my notes. But then I thought, is she pretty enough for me? What the fuck is wrong with Mecca? What's wrong with Mecca? Belle is stunning. She's absolutely stunning. Okay? She's beautiful. She seems to have a beautiful personality. She has beautiful teeth. She has a beautiful shape. She seems like a kind, genuine person. I see no red flags, and there might be, right? But it's like, as it relates to physicality, she's beautiful. And not just like outwardly, you can tell that she has a beautiful personality. So I'm really, really annoyed and irritated, but I'm not surprised because Mecca has said things in the past where he's put his foot in his mouth. He seems to make progress and they seem to make progress, and then he always shits on it. And every time I think that he's redeeming himself or this connection is redeeming itself, he says or does something stupid that I'm just like, what's going on right now, right? So some of my other notes are, I would like to physically see, and I'm sure I'm not on TikTok or any other forms of social media, but maybe someone Bring it to YouTube so I can watch it. I would love to see the type of women that Mecca was dating prior, like within the last year prior to Belle. I would love to see what they look like, number one. I mean, like who does this man, I mean, who was he pulling? Who was he pulling? What kind of women was he pulling that he's questioning whether or not Belle is pretty enough for him? Mind you, this is a motherfucker that grew up wetting the bed. Okay? You grew up wetting the bed. I'm not gonna attack him personally, but I feel like I want to do that because at this point, like, I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting annoyed because it almost seems intentional. I don't think he's dumb, right? We've seen him have conversations where he clearly gives things thought and he responds in a thoughtful manner, etc. But I'm just like, it almost seems intentional. Like him saying those things are, he wants to intentionally be malicious. He wants to intentionally hurt her. He wants to make her question herself, doubt herself. He wants to create separation and other himself as if he's better than her, as if he's more attractive, etc. I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what his MO is. I don't like it. I don't think he's literally stupid, but there are a lot of things that he's saying and doing that show that he's stupid. He's stupid. And I think it's really unfortunate. And I wonder how this dinner and conversation is going to play into their decision to say yes. There are previews to the next set of episodes that are going to be released this coming Thursday. I'm recording this on Sunday. If you've seen the previews, at some point it seems like Mecca is talking to some of the guys about like boob implants. So if this is about Bella Jolie not having big boobs, again, we go back to Mecca, you're so stupid. Like, you're so stupid. You're stupid. You're shallow. Why are you here? You're not ready for marriage. And until you fix yourself, you don't deserve it, honestly. And you especially don't deserve someone like Bella Jolie. And I know she loves him. I know she cares about him. And I've been there before, right? I think a lot of us have been there before where it's like you meet someone and for whatever reason, like you're drawn to them and you love them, you care about them, you want to do things for them, you want to show up for them, you love wholeheartedly 110%. But I really wish that Belle could take a step back and remove herself from the situation because it's so beneath her. Mecca is so beneath her. He doesn't deserve her. He doesn't deserve her time, her energy, her love, her affection. Yes, did he throw her a great birthday and do something nice for her? Absolutely. But that doesn't make up for the really shitty things that he's already said to her multiple times. And that he continues to want to remind her that he feels that he is more attractive than her. And he's not. I'm here to tell you, he's not. Is he handsome? Sure. But like on a scale of 1 to 10, a 4? Mecca's a 4. There is nothing outstanding about that man. He looks silly. He has those fake ass gold teeth. His braids are fucking frizzy as fuck all the time. His beard is not lined up. He has some height to him. He doesn't seem like super, I mean, well, this is also about taste, right? Because I don't really like men that are super skinny. There's nothing special about that man at all. And then on top of the physicality that nothing is outstanding, on top of that, you have a shitty personality. That takes you from a 4 or 5, whatever I gave him, to like a 2. So men, just stop. Okay, I'm done with that big rant, but that shit pissed me off. Like, my jaw was on the floor. When he said that, I'm like, this is not happening right now. And it wasn't just it was the first comment of like, I was attracted to Belle when I met her. But then it got worse. When he said, is she pretty enough for me? I'm like, is this really happening right now? Oh, but let's continue. Caitlin and Devin meet with Caitlin's dad. One of my notes are, oh, Caitlin's dad is actually normal because he was acting like a fucking idiot at the wedding ceremony, interrupting, shaking, freaking saying this isn't for me, blah, blah, blah. He seemed pretty normal at the restaurant, thank God, right? They had a good conversation. He was giving Devin advice about how to respond to Caitlin's like emotional reactivity. Caitlin was sharing things that she's working on. It seemed like a good conversation, but yeah, I'm glad he wasn't acting like he was at the ceremony, because I probably would have fast forwarded the whole part of the episode because it would have been really annoying to me. If people, I can't read my notes. If people aren't into what, okay. So at the dinner, they're having a conversation about the fact that physical intimacy hasn't really been a thing for Caitlin and Devin. She said that she pulled back any like intimacy from when they came back from Cancun, and that she's trying to work towards that. So then the different couples start talking about, okay, well, like if you guys aren't intimate, then would you still be able to say yes? Then someone poses the question like, hey, would any of you say yes to get married to someone that you weren't physically intimate with? And different people have varying answers, but the majority say that they wouldn't. They asked Devin if he would still be willing to move forward. He said yes, but he also mentions that he also understands like the importance of like sexual compatibility. And sometimes you can be compatible with someone, but maybe you're not physical compatible because that person doesn't like the things that you like, or vice versa. And then sometimes my note says it will make someone go and look for it somewhere else. Okay, let's talk about this a bit, okay? Because I had an ex that one time said something like that to me, right? My piece of shit ex, one of them. And we were young though. I was 18 or 19. I was with him for like 10 years. And he said something to the effect of basically like, if you don't, someone else will. Which is literally kind of this, but just in a shittier way to say it. I understand, because then after Devin says it, clearly Caitlin gets pissed off. I would get pissed off too. It's a shitty thing to say. It's a shitty thing to say out loud. Yes, we get that people do that, but why are you saying it? Why is it coming out of your mouth? You're married to me. So why, if that doesn't apply to you, don't say it. Because he's like, I mean, I'm just saying it in a general sense. Okay, if that generally happens in like general population, but we're clearly discussing the dynamic between you and I, what is the point of you bringing up something that doesn't apply to you? That isn't an action that you would take. For me, he's saying that because that's his mindset. That's his thought. Like if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to go look for it from someone else. That's how I took it. I don't care what he says. And I think when he realized he put his foot in his mouth, he's trying to like backtrack and like undo it and saying he would never do that. Sure. If that's like saying, it's just like providing an example that applies to me to something that I would never do. I wouldn't do that, right? Like it doesn't make sense logically. So I'm trying to think of a good example, but it's really late and I'm so tired. But essentially, like, if I said I can't pay my electric bill, so I'm just gonna like, sometimes when people can't pay their electric bill, like they steal. They set up stuff and they hook it up to get like power like through a neighbor or like another source, or like they rob a bank, or they do different things. My thing is like, if those situations those examples do not apply to me, I wouldn't even bring them into the conversation. I hope that made sense, but I'm really, really tired and I'm really trying to get this video done while the information is fresh in my mind. Let's keep going. So Michelle and Cam. Okay. Michelle and Cam, during this episode, they meet with Michelle's aunt. She grew up with her aunt. They talk about kind of like her aunt's relationship with her husband, how it was for them. And they're asking, how do they keep the relationship fun after all these years? Which I'm just like, I get it. And I mentioned this in my previous video. I think that some of the couples are getting hung up on how do we make this last? And what they need to focus on is how do we build a solid foundation with each other? And once we have that foundation, the making it last, it comes easy. It comes naturally. When you have time vested, when you have love, when you have history, when you've gone through things, when you've experienced challenges and surpassed them and overcome them, the key continuation of trying, the continuation of returning to a relationship, the continuation of showing up for a person is going to come naturally. I guarantee it. And this is coming from, I've never been married before, but I've been there, right? I've been there where you love someone, you fall in love with them, you go through shit. And like all of those things are what keep you there, right? It keeps you there because you have time vested, you bond through experiences, you bond through challenges. Like that's what keeps it going. So I'm tired of Cam talking about him being scared of commitment. What the fuck are you doing on a show called Married at First Sight if you're scared of commitment? What are you doing here? Your ass is 30 something. What are you doing here? I'm just like, it's pissing me off because I'm like, it doesn't matter. Let's keep going. It wasn't apparent to me, but after this episode, it's become more and more apparent to me. I think that Michelle and Cam think their shit doesn't stink. And maybe it doesn't stink right now, but all shit stinks and it will always stink. It will never not have a scent, right? So I think their moment is yet to come where shit falls. And I don't want it to fall. Like when I first saw them, I thought they were really cute. I think that Michelle is super pretty. I thought that they were a cute couple. I did think they were boring. I do still think that they are boring. Not even because they don't have drama, just because like they don't seem like interesting people. Neither of them have anything interesting about them. I think the most interesting thing about Michelle is that she paints, and she paints really well. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm like, in this episode, I am seeing that they think that they are better than the other couples. They think that they have it all figured out. They think that they are the most successful couple on the show. They think that they have the greatest odds of making it. And I think they're reveling in this idea of like talking shit about the other couples or predicting like the odds of whether or not they're going to stay together or where they're going to be at these dinners. And it's really like not cute. It's not cute. And I look forward to them watching that back. And I hope that like, I hope this reunion like truly delivers and they get asked like important questions. Cause it's like, yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Felipe and Tori. I talked about this in my previous video and my note remains the same. And I think a lot of us are wondering, why is Tori still trying? I think that part of the reason Tori is still trying is that Tori wants to make it to the end because Tori also wants TV time. I think she knows she's not going to stay with Felipe. I don't even know if she really likes Felipe at this point. Maybe she did at the beginning. But I think that Tori is being calculated and she knows that like if she stays in the show, she may get other opportunities or she may get like a following online. I don't know what her following is like currently because I'm not on social media, but I think that has to be like the only reason she's still hanging out here because I don't see like I don't get it. So my other note says, how many times does Felipe need to say that he's unsure about marriage, that he's unsure about marriage with her, that he's unsure about Tori? How many times does Felipe have to say he doesn't really want this? How many times and in how many different ways does Felipe have to say he's not really into Tori like that? How many times? How many different ways? And he's saying it absolutely clearly. Clear as day. There's no question what he's saying. He finds himself trying to find ways out of it. Thinking about it when he's at the grocery store. Thinking about when he's walking. It's not that he doesn't like her, it's that he's not sure about marriage with her. He has fear of commitment. He has fear of losing passion. He likes sleeping with multiple women. He loves his single life. I mean, shit. I only have 5 fingers here and I need the other hand for all the instances that he said he doesn't want to do this. He's not ready for this. He's not ready for commitment. He does not want to give up his single life and sleeping with other people for Tori. That's only the verbal things that he said. We've also seen the nonverbals, right? We've seen when he asked when they're having a conversation about moving in together, he doesn't want to do that yet. You can tell. So I'm just like, come on, you guys. Let's wake up. Tori, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You know, Tori calls Felipe essentially doing emotional manipulation, right? Because on one token, he's saying, I love my single life. I'm not sure if I'm ready for commitment, all these things. And then on the other hand, he's saying, but I really like you. I really see us, blah, 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 blah. I agree with Tori. It is. Because you're saying one fucking thing, but then when we're one-on-one or when we're sitting on the couch, you're holding me, you're like looking at my eyes and like telling me, shut the fuck up. Because both, I know people are like, 2 things can be true at once. 2 things can be true at once. Sure, I'll give it to you. You can want to sleep with multiple bitches and still say you really like me. Yes. However, if you want to sleep with multiple bitches and you really like me, you don't like me that much, right? If you're not willing to put me first, put us first, put our marriage, put our relationship first, and you're more willing and inclined to put your selfish interests first, you don't like me that much. So I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear it, right? Because that's not a standard normal thing to tell someone that when you like them, that you want to sleep with other people. That's not standard. That's not, it's just like, so anyway, they're in therapy and Paul asks about the emotional manipulation. He tries to break it down. It was honestly stupid. In my opinion, it was stupid. So Paul asked Tori, let's break that down. Do you think that he was intentionally saying this to manipulate your feelings? Tori says, I don't know if it was intentional, but that's how I received it. That's how it made me feel. It might have not been intentional. So then Paul says, Felipe, did you say this with his, I wish I could do his eyebrows. His eyebrows are like, I can't. His eyebrows are like this. They're like very like, so he's like, Felipe, did you say that to Tori with the intention of evoking a specific emotion from her? And then Felipe is like, no. Who would say yes, even if he was doing that? It is very, very rare that people are going to admit to being emotionally manipulative. Doesn't matter who's asking. No one is going to outwardly say yes. Add in the fact that you're not in a fucking therapy session by yourself. You're sitting next to your wife. Add the layer, you're on TV. Add the layer, it's national fucking TV. Add who knows how many cameras are in that room. Yeah, you think he's going to openly say, yeah, I was emotionally manipulating her. I was trying to evoke an emotion. No, so it's like that whole therapy session of like, I didn't think he was trying to do that. Thank you, Felipe. The fuck? He's lying. Anyone would say no. Why would he say yes to that? That was so stupid to me. So, at the dinner, and it's getting annoying at this point. Even in the session, in the therapy session, in this moment, I'm committed to Tori. I want to be monogamous to Tori. I want to be with Tori. At the dinner, same thing. Right now, in this moment, and it's just like, okay, my guy. Okay. You guys are a week out from decision day, so we get it. At least for the next 7 days, Tori can count on you not fucking someone else. At least for the next 7 days. After those 7 days, we're not sure. But at least we got it right now in this finite moment. You can restrain from fucking someone else. Got it. That's fucking great. That gives us a lot of fucking hope and longevity for the future. Thank you so much for your commitment, Felipe. Thank you so much. Grow the fuck up. All right, Adam and Marissa. Adam and Marissa go out to dinner. Finally, shit, they finally eat a fucking meal, but I see why we haven't seen him eat before that, because he eats like a fucking caveman. I'm all for, I know when you eat steak, it was just nasty. It was nasty, honestly. He was eating like a caveman. He was eating with his hands. Even the steak that wasn't attached to a bone, he was literally picking it up and eating with his hands. I mean, it's fine if you're like grilling and you're like outside. You're at a fucking restaurant. Like, use the fucking knife and fork, please. Like, it's one thing if you're standing over the grill and you're with your guys, whatever, and you want to just eat a piece of meat, but you're in a restaurant, please. And I know Marissa was getting the ick at how he eats. She's gotten the ick on other things too, but she didn't want to admit that, even though he asked. I was getting the ick of why the fuck were his feet up on the seat, like up on the sides of her chair. Put your fucking feet down. What? That reminds me of Steven. Just like an annoying idiot, honestly. One thing that Marissa has said a couple of times that at this point is starting to annoy me. She's like, when they talked about pickleball, she's like, I'm an adult woman. When she was having dinner with Adam, at some point she says, adult women don't play sports. So what kind of women play sports? Only children? Are you not familiar with like adult sport leagues? Adult women don't. I've never heard such a stupid thing. And she said it multiple times and I only have to call it out because I'm just like, I mean, and I don't play sports, but I'm not stupid enough to say that like adult women don't play sports. Like, that's stupid. That's stupid. Just because you don't play sports doesn't mean that there aren't adult women that enjoy that. Okay? Just because you don't and your friends doesn't mean that. So that's like an ignorant comment. At the dinner, I don't know what the fuck Adam is wearing. And first he was like trying to be flashy and loud, and now he's like going the complete opposite way. And it's just like, okay, guy, at this point, like, let's wrap it up, because Adam is pissing me off too, just by like existing. Yeah, so let's get to Sean and Nikki. So Sean and Nikki had a physical encounter of a sexual flavor, but we don't know what it was. Okay, so someone gave someone head. We don't know, or they both gave each other head. And then Sean comes out like robe out, dick and balls flailing everywhere. He's singing. He said that they had a sexual encounter and it went longer than he expected. I don't even know what that means. I feel like maybe she just jacked. I feel like she wouldn't give him head. And I don't even know if she'd let him give her head. But I think she probably just like masturbated him. I don't know. But good for them. Good for them. Finally, like, geez, getting some activity on. And thank God no one pressured them about it. Because I know everyone couldn't stop talking about like them fucking or doing. And it's just like, leave them alone. When they want to, they will. But good for them. They seem both happy about it. I don't know how I feel about Sean coming for Adam. Like, I think that after Sean got some activity in the bedroom, I do think that increased his confidence, right? And that's why he wanted to come for Adam. I don't know, but I'm just like, Sean, shut the hell up. Like, just shut up. Shut up. You're not one of the relationship experts. You're not a therapist. You're not a doctor. You have a doctor, but you're not a doctor. So please shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Adam was definitely pissed for being called out. I even noticed when he was doing like the confessional camera and he was talking about it, like the camera people cut it short because you could see like his mouth was like still moving, and then they cut the scene. So I'm sure he was rambling for a minute about it. But I'm also like, okay, Adam, you talk all that shit, but why didn't you say that shit like at the dinner table? Why'd you say that in the confessional? Like, you could have came at him and said, you know what, Sean, like, I appreciate your insight, but for someone that's been really struggling in your relationship, I don't really think you have room to talk. It's a very simple way to come back at his ass. Very simple way. I mean, you could have done that. So, what? Sean trying to jump on, on the yes. So at some point when Bella Jolie and Mecca say that they decided to say yes, Sean decides to interject and talk about like how great their connection has been since the last time that they had this dinner, and he could totally see it being, and I'm just like, shut the hell up, Sean. Shut up. Shut up. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of episode 15. I'm really excited to see what unfolds this coming week. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.